Dyal Singh lies a little, offside if we compare it to the core campus, South Campus area. So that's not there. Come to Delhi University, get into this atmosphere, blend into the atmosphere, right? You will have breakdowns in between. Trust me, that's a part of the process.
Hi everybody, welcome to my channel and welcome to the 14th episode of Perspectives. Today we have with us Shreshth. He is a second year student at Dyal Singh College pursuing BA program Economics plus Mathematics. Hi Shreshth, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Ashi. First of all, thanks for inviting me. It's definitely one of a pleasure indeed. And yeah, I'm super excited to be here.
Okay, thank you. We'll directly dive into the questions. I'll be first of all asking you about your first year experience at Delhi University and Dyal Singh College. How has it been? Let's give it a brief.
The first year has been, full of ups and downs. It was definitely one of a roller coaster ride indeed. I still remember the time when I was, just in my 12th grade and I was in that transmission of, sort of completing my boards and applying for the colleges and all that college applications. But I am still, proud of the fact that I've, gotten a seat in Delhi University. The values that I've imbibed over the past of 1 year, the experiences that I've had, the people that I've met, the people that I've networked with, and yeah, just all in all, it has been, great. And I'm really grateful to be a part of Delhi University. And the first year has been, full of ups and downs. I've had a lot of breakdowns in between. In fact, Ashi, that there was a phase in between when I was, just cribbing about my college, cribbing about university. And I'm pretty sure that everyone in DU has gone through that particular phase, if at all he or she is not from SRCC or Hindu Stephens, right? So yeah, that definitely was a phase. But with time, with as days pass by, as days surpass, I realized the importance of just settling up with what you have and trying to do the best in it. So yeah, it has been great. I'm really grateful with whatever I have.
Okay, what would be the three takeaways from your first year of college? Let's speak about them.
Hmm. So the three key takeaways, I'd say the first key takeaway would be do not sort of restrict yourself to a bunch of people, to a group of people. Do not just think in this way that this is my group of people, this is my type of people. I'll stay with them in my college and I'll just pass all 3 years with them. Do not interact as much as you can, meet different people, have their perspective as the podcast itself is, right? Try to imbibe their ideologies, try to gain insights from their approaches, right? So just believe in the fact of interacting, learning new stuff, and adapting to it, right? I feel one person, anyone who is a part of Delhi University, or for that matter, any university, should have the habit of interacting to different people. Should be able to sort of take something out from them that can sort of contribute to their future growth, right? So just do not restrict yourself to a bunch of people. Interact as much as you can. That will eventually help you in some or the other way in future, if not at the present. Second key takeaway would be research. I feel research is one such hinder factor, or one such underestimated thing that's not much talked about. But I feel like research in during my past 1 year has helped me a lot in every single sense I could say about. It has, had helped me in taking some very important decisions on some very important parameters that I would have taken wrong if I would have had not researched, right? So research is one such thing that I would want each and everyone, who is coming to Delhi University or is a part of Delhi University to do as much as you can. And I feel like research is one such thing that never goes into waste. It never goes into waste. It's definitely going to help you in future. So that would be my second key takeaway. And the third key takeaway would be probably do not try to manage 10 things together, right? I would say this because since my school itself, I was very much involved in extracurriculars. I was the head boy. I was also, heading the MUN club. And somehow I realized that I sort of messed up my boards a little, right? And now I understand the importance of, focusing on less things with all heart and soul than focusing on 10 things with, not pure focus. So I'd say focus on less things, but with all your heart and soul into it. That will eventually help you in a better manner. So yeah, that will be pretty much the three key takeaways I would have suggested.
Okay, great takeaways. We'll now move to discussing about your college. The Dyal Singh College is one of the most renowned colleges, prestigious, not but
Hmm.
old colleges of Delhi
Hmm.
University.
Hmm.
We talk about the three cons of the Dyal Singh College because बात होती है about just the cons. So what would be the cons according to you? What do you experience in the first year of college?
I feel, see, there's no ending list to the cons, right? But the three top cons that I could sort of think about is firstly would be the infrastructure, right? We do have a good, size campus, but not all the buildings are properly maintained, right? We often see dirt here and there. The electricity, the power cut is often there. We are sitting in the classes and the fan goes off, the light goes off. That's there. So if that comes in infrastructure, that's definitely there. Second would be a little sense of toxicity in the societies. We do have toxicity in the societies, not like CVS. I've heard great insights about the societies that we have in CVS, but definitely we have a lot of toxic culture in the societies that are there. But I feel like these are some things that are, almost present in every single college of TU, right? So these are some things that you need to deal with and sort of adapt to. Um, these are the prime two things that I can sort of think of. And also the third con, I'd say it does not lie, purely in a South Campus area, right? Say talk about Venki, say talk about ARST, they are just next to each other, right? So we have a greater diversity there, and we have a greater crowd there. So the Alsing lies a little, offside if we compare it to the core campus, South Campus area. So that's not there. Just like Shahid Bhagat Singh is also a little off, right? Not exactly in the South Campus area. So yeah, so that's these are the three cons I'd like to highlight majorly.
Yeah, I believe Shahid Bhagat Singh is just like हमारे side में है. And
Yeah,
yeah, so it's like थोड़ा South campus वाला feel नहीं आता, but still generally when people talk about CVS, SBSC or Dyal Singh being called off campus, वो तुम
hmm.
ऐसा बोल सकते हो, but according to the Delhi University के लिए it's already a South campus college, तो ऐसा थोड़ा
Yeah.
doubt. Okay, we'll now
Hmm.
talk about the pros of Dyal Singh College. Three pros of Dyal Singh College. Yeah.
The first pro would be its location, right? It's situated at the JLN metro station, which is, a station right next to the Khan Market station, right? We all are living in Delhi, and we know how famous and prestigious Khan Market is. So it's definitely, the location. It's present on Lodhi Road, which is one of the most, posh areas of South Delhi. So that's one thing. Second would be the prime, pro I'd definitely say here is that, the diversity that's present in Dyal Singh College. Because I feel like Dyal Singh College is the only, I'm not sure, but it's the only college in Delhi University uh, that its evening college also, sort of works in the morning time only. So there's this evening building in our college, separate building, not like other colleges that, run in the same building, morning batches and the evening batches. We have a separate building for the evening college, and that works at the same time just as the morning building. So we get to interact with the evening crowd as well. So that just increases the diversity and the interaction criteria that comes into play. So that would be just the two pros, I'd say. I do not have a third pro here, right? So yeah, majorly these two will be the main ones. Yeah.
Okay, so how's the crowd at Dyal Singh College? Very infamous for its
Mhm.
conflicts and everything. मतलब memes बनते रहते हैं.
Hmm.
What is your opinion on this? Why is Dyal
Well,
Singh famous for
hmm.
conflict?
See, I'll be very honest. I do understand that it's famous for all these things, but I'll be very honest about my experience. I have had not encountered even a single fight in front of my eyes or in front of in my conscience. I have not even seen a single fight. Most probably, I feel like the reels that we see on Instagram or all that social media platform, it's mostly the repeated clips over the past years, right? It's not something that has happened over the years, but it's just the repeated clips. But I would definitely agree on second upon the fact that it happens. It definitely happens, in an increased manner in comparison to other colleges. But it's not much of a big deal. I mean, we go to the college, we do not discuss about all that stuff. It happens, it happens. We do not even care about it. So I feel like it's a part of every DU college. But yes, the fact that it has gotten viral is itself the main thing. So we cannot do anything about it. But it's not much of a big deal that you'll be considering this factor for choosing the college. No, that's not the case.
Okay, great. We'll now be talking to about your course. BA
Hmm.
program is considered when people don't get honors courses. This is a general opinion. That is
Hmm.
not my opinion. BA program courses generally is said कि they do not offer placement security. What is your opinion on that? Like you might have experienced or देखा होगा seniors को क्या placements मिलती हैं. What is the future of BA program courses? Yeah, that's
See, I would not like to sugarcoat things up, right? I like to, present up the reality. I would definitely not agree with the fact that, people who get BA program have less scores, but it's the subject combination that they would want to get into. Say it's, political science, say it's history, say it's, geography, they would not have any other option than to opt for BA, right? But talking about my course, right? Say someone who wants to get into corporate, or say someone who wants to go abroad, or wants to just get into the workforce industry. I feel like this course is a great course, right? The combination that I have, that is economics plus maths, and to bring clarity to the people who are in 12th or who will be appearing for CUET in the future. If you would want to go for corporate, or if you'd want to go into that mainstream area, I'd suggest you to opt for BA Economics of Maths. And there's this course BA Eco plus Commerce as well, if you're aware about it, right? That's the course also I've seen people getting placed, right? And the third course would be BA Economics plus Computer Applications. In fact, if you talk about Delhi University in general, the highest placement was backed by some girl in LSR who was from this course BA Economics plus Computer Applications. She had a placement of like 40 LP or somewhat, and she got placed as a consultant in Kepler. So that itself, sort of nullifies the fact that people from BA program do not get placed. But yes, I do agree with the fact that we are somewhere hindered at some points, right? We are not eligible to sit for some companies where they have a minimum eligibility to be a part of BCom program, or eco honors to be able to sit for placements. But for the companies who have eligibility of all courses, you can definitely sort of nail in it. So there's no hindrance in those areas. But yes, up to some extent, BA program students have to face difficulties in placements.
okay. So the myth is broken, guys. You can consider BA program courses. They have a good future option. Now we'll be talking about North Campus versus South Campus, a very opinionated topic. What's your say on that? Like generally, when we talk about campuses, ऐसा conflict आता है. Venki is an exception, but
Hmm.
is there a difference between these two campuses?
See, I feel like I'll be the most right person to talk about this. Not better than the person who's in a North Campus, but still at a right place. I would like to talk about myself. I, being a South Campus student, but I'm living in a North Campus PG. Not only because of the fact that I got a good PG in North Campus, but also of the fact that I had in my mind that I would want to have people around me, who are from good colleges. And you never know what all things can work out eventually. We have startups from North Campus. We have good people who network from North Campus. In fact, my roommate, who is right now not there, he is from FMS. He's doing an MBA there, right? So I feel lucky about the fact that I live in North Campus area, because I feel like the degree of networking that takes place here in North Campus is much better than South Campus. And also the fact that in North Campus the colleges are much closer in comparison to the colleges in South Campus, right? We have a better crowd here. We have people from prestigious schools. We have people from prestigious backgrounds. We have people who are solely involved in extracurriculars, solely involved in academics, and they're doing the best that they can. So definitely, I feel like North Campus is better when it comes to networking, better when it comes to socializing. So that's one thing, and um, I can sort of witness that since I'm living in North Campus, so I can profoundly agree with that fact that North Campus is definitely better than South Campus, and not give you a tipsy answer that both the campuses fall in the same place. It's up to you. No, not that's not the case.
Okay, we'll now be talking about CUET. What would be some tips, like three tips you'd like to give to the people who will be giving CUET next year?
Start early, right? Start as much as early as you can. Do not just wait for the last 2 months or the last after boards phase where you just join a crash course and you sort of prepare with it. Do not start as much as early as you can. Be serious about your studies, right? This is one general tip that I'd like to give, which everyone ignores but needs to sort of focus upon. Second, focus on your boards, right? Even though the percentage or the boards do not matter a lot in the present scenario and in the coming areas, in the coming coming days ahead, but I feel like if you focus on the boards, you'll be sort of able to make up in the CUT. You'll be able to fetch a decent enough good college in CUT. So focus on your boards, be serious about your studies, and um, talking about the courses that you opt for CUT, reach out to people on LinkedIn. They will give you the much needed clarity that you would want to have at that particular point of time, right? When we are, completely unaware about what course we want to do or what field we want to go, whether we want to go in economics, commerce, or whatsoever, right? So just reach out to people on LinkedIn, talk to them, get their insights, and sort of, perform the best in the CUT, and then, things will eventually fall into place.
Okay, so you must have given mathematics exam for the CUET
Hmm.
exam. Some tips to approach mathematics. Why? Because it is generally a problematic subject for a lot of people. So some advices.
Yeah, so the famous myth, I'd say, people consider that in order to be able to opt for Eco plus Maths, you need to score good in Maths and CUET. That's not the case. The reality is that you need to have Maths in your 12th. That's it, right? So uh, the combination, even if you give eco accounts, BSc economics, whichever combination sort of gets you the best marks, that will be considered. It's not that maths needs to be counted in for the combination, right? For the score calculation. No, that's not the case. The only prerequisite that's required is that you need to have maths in 11th or 12th. If you don't have maths, you won't be able to do this course. So yeah, so just focus on your basics. Um, be thorough with integration and differentiation and differential equations that we have in 12th, because right now I'm approaching my third semester and the entire unit is named as differential equation. In the second semester we had elementary linear algebra, right? So these are some of the core concepts and the core subjects that you'll be studying on, which are core calculus, core integration, core differentiation. So you need to be well versed with maths if you would want to opt for this course. So yeah, that's pretty much about maths.
Okay, we'll be talking about the society culture at Dyal Singh College. You just said a remark like societies are toxic. But to know more about the societies at Dyal Singh College, anything you'd like to say? Your opinion, totally.
I mean, it's like, I have a little, not a general opinion on the same. I feel like completely devoting yourself to society work or society culture, societies in general is not an advice I would want to give to the people who are coming to Delhi University. I feel like we have a diverse number of societies. We have commerce society, we have Finanza, which is the finance society, we have Marxi, which is the marketing society. We also have a trading society, which is Lee Street. We have Anandam. We have various NGO societies. So the society culture is definitely great. We have n number of societies, catering to different topics and different genres. But yes, the toxic culture is not there in every society. There are some societies which are, very constructive in learning. They promote, adaptive learning, and they promote people who would want to learn. But there are societies which, have a sense of toxicity. Toxicity. I've seen people, facing biasness, right? So it has been there. But yes, the society culture is great. The extensive network is great. We also have a 180 degrees consulting, right? So it's great. It's decent. If you are able to sort of suffice in one or two or three societies, it would somewhat work. It depends on you as an individual. Yeah.
Okay. There's a general doubt while making preference list. Everybody is okay until Venkateshwar. After that, everybody is confused about placing the colleges, which college should be above and below and everything. So,
Right.
college versus college ka, there's a segment. I want your
All
opinion
right.
on the colleges. The Alsing College versus Motilal Nehru, the first one.
Okay. 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 I'm not really aware about the things that are happening in Motilal, but I'd say they both are somewhat similar, right? I am not really aware about Motilal in general, but I feel they both are somewhat in the same line. So whichever college you get, right? In Dyal Singh, one advantage that we have is the the evening building that we have and the same timing that goes well. So we have a greater crowd. We have in fact a better crowd, I'd say. I have a friend studying in Motilal Nehru, and he sort of just keeps on cribbing about the college. So if I say on that basis, then definitely Dyal Singh would be better. But in general, if we see people consider Motilal to be better than Dyal Singh, right? But yeah, and I feel like since you talked about the preference list as well, right? Since you said that after Venki, no one really focuses on the South Campus colleges. I would like to highlight this one factor over here that say let's talk about you, Ashi. You got a score of 732, right? Yeah. So I'm pretty sure you might not be aware about this course in the previous year. You might be, when you gave CUT. So I'll be talking about the cutoffs this year, like the current year. The cutoff for BA Economics with Mathematics was 720 for a North Campus college, which I guess a lot of people might not be aware of, right? Say, talking about SGTB Khalsa, which is a great renowned college, for you to be able to sit in that college in this particular course was 720. So say someone who has gotten a 732 or a 735, and him wanting to be sitting at North Campus, that can be fulfilled, right? That is not the case that if I mean this is for someone who is not very much rigid about his or course, or his study field that he wants to get into. Economics and maths are somewhat similar to um, the core field that corporate sort of demands for. So I guess when I talk about definitely if it's not SRCC, Hindu or Stephens, I feel like all the colleges sort of fall in the same place. It depends on individual. It depends on how you sort of take up the opportunities that come up way, how you network, how you talk to different people, how you sort of have an approach towards your future. So it sort of boils down to your individuality and not on the battle, or on the battle of college versus course. Until and unless till the point that your course sort of falls into the mainstream, it has economics, it has commerce, it has subjects of finance. It sort of makes up to it. It does the job. So yeah.
Okay, the next college versus college would be Dayal Singh versus DCAC.
DCAC would definitely be better. I would not give a tipsy answer here again. DCAC is definitely better in terms of society, in terms of uh, placements, in terms of the companies that come into DCAC, right? Um, in terms of its location, in terms of its in general ranking that we have, definitely DCAC is better.
Okay, the last question I have for you, Shrestha, is some advices for the first year students because they'll be coming in very not so confident. So, any advices?
Uh, do not settle with what you have, right? I do not mean the college, but do not settle with the urge to grow more. Keep interacting with people, keep, growing your interest, keep stepping out of your comfort zone, keep, just interacting with different people and getting their approaches, getting their help, getting insights from what they have done. So do not just sit idle. Research as much as you can, as I just said in the in the last questions. Research as much as you can. Open Quora, open Reddit. Trust me, that those reviews will help you a lot. In taking some decisions on some very important parameters that you might have had taken wrong in your 20s, for that matter. So research as much as you can, interact as much as you can, do not sit idle, and just keep working hard. And in fact, there's a saying that my father sort of keeps on saying, and I've heard people saying this also, that beta, just keep on knocking the door. Someone or the other, or one out of the 10 people will definitely open the door. So just believe in that ideology, and trust me, things will fall into place.
Okay, great podcast, great insights. Thank you for coming in, Shrestha. Any closing statements?
The closing statement would be, do not stress a lot. Come to Delhi University, get into this atmosphere, blend into the atmosphere, right? You will have breakdowns in between. Trust me, that's a part of the process. Each one of us have it. It's completely all right. Just to sort of make yourself used to the whole process. Uh, Explore different opportunities. Do not reject any opportunity. Do not let the companies you apply reject you. Try as much as hard you can. Let them reject you, but do not reject yourself, right? Give it a try, and yeah, as I said, everything will fall into place together.
Okay, guys, thank you for watching the podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more such episodes. Like this podcast in case you have any questions. I'll link LinkedIn Shreshth Ka. Then you can just reach out to him or ask any questions, or you can just comment down your doubts. Make sure to like. Thank you for watching.